Yes, good morning friends. Welcome to electronics online classes. And today onwards we start our second day syllabus. And according to our PU board, we are having the 13 chapters in your electronics second year. We are having the 13 chapters are there in your electronics. And in the 13 chapters, there are so many topics. They are related to the transistors. That's why before going for the actual topics, in one or two classes, we go for the transistors. What is the meaning of transistor? What are the types of transistor? And what is the main function of transistor, and also how we can transfer conducts, and what are the different configurations of your transistor, and finally you go for the input and output characteristics of a transistor. And once you know these basics, it is very easy to understand your actual topic for your second year syllabus. Actually, in your second year syllabus, the first topic is about APT. The name of the first topic is nothing but your APT, that is called field effect transistor. And the second topic is about transistor biasing. Transistor biasing. And third topic is about transistor amplifiers. Transistor amplifiers. Look here in these three topics. So many next you are having after the transistor amplifier, having the feedback amplifiers and operation amplifiers, oscillators. Then you are having the communication, digital electronics, and also you are studying about the power electronics. Finally, you are going for the C language and microcontrollers. This is about you are having nearly 13 chapters. In the 13 chapters, we will go for the transistor biasing. Why you are going for the second topic rather than your first topic? Because the second topic, it is related to the first year. Already you studied about transistor in the first year. That's why you start directly to the second topic. After completing this second and third topic, you go for the first topic, because that is the second and third topics are related. Already you studied in your first year. And now we go for the basics about the transistor. And as we know already, you are giving more importance to the transistors, and we are giving more importance to the transistors because, as we know in electronics, we are having the two branches. One is called analog electronics, and the second one is nothing but your digital electronics. Look here, why I said about transistors, because transistors are used in analog electronics, also they are used in your digital electronics. And in what way you are using in analog electronics transistors? As in analog electronics, you are giving more importance to amplifiers. You are giving more importance to the amplifiers. And second one is about in digital electronics. In digital electronics, the transistor is used as a switch. It is used as a switch. It means in overall in electronics, whatever the electronics components, devices are made up of, nearly 70 to 80% they are made up of your semiconductors, nearly they are made up of your transistors. Consider, for example, your computers. As we know, you are familiar about computers. Actually, the computer is an electronic device, and in that computer, it is an IC, integrated circuits. And in that computer, having the nearly billion and millions of transistors are there in the computer. Millions and billions of transistors are there in your computer. And also, as you are nowadays it is common, your mobile phones. the mobile phone also contains the transistors. It means if you want to construct any gadget, electronic gadget, that is nothing, that is having the transistors. And basically, as we know already, what is the definition of transistors? First we go for the, what is the definition of transistor? You go for your, today you can highlight about definition of your definition, and second you go for the types of transistors, and also you go for the application, as I said already, applications of transistor, and finally go for the working principle of your transistor. And actually, what is nothing but your definition of transistor? As we know already, the transistor is an three-terminal semiconductor device. As we know already, you have studied about in first year the diodes. The diode is nothing but it is a two-terminal semiconductor device. In the same way, the transistor is a three-terminal semiconductor device. This I said a very, very simple way of your definition. Another way we can say about the transistor is having two junctions, three-layer semiconductor device. I am saying another way of definition. The transistor is nothing but it is having a three-layer, two-junction semiconductor device. This is the another way of definition. To go another way of definition, and here I said about in three ways we can define the transistor. Another one is about transistor is nothing but the two diodes connected back to back. The two diodes connected back to back. That also we can say about the definition of our transistors. And now only said, what is the importance of transistor? Why you are giving more importance? Why you are giving more importance to the transistors? When I said it is used in analog as well as it is used in your digital. And also another important thing, transistor is an active device. It is an active device. And also, as I said, before inverting transistor for the amplifying purpose, or I said about computers, they are using the vacuum tubes. Before inverting the transistor, they are using the vacuum tubes as amplifier. Also in your computers or in your any other electronic devices, they are using the vacuum tubes. And what are the drawbacks or disadvantages of vacuum tubes? As we know, the vacuum tube is having bulky in the size. The size is very big as compared to transistors. This is one drawback. And also another important thing about your vacuum tubes, they require more voltage and more current. They require more voltage and more current. And also their efficiency is also very less. That's why you are not giving more importance to the vacuum tubes. Nowadays in all other electronic devices you are using the transistor, because the most important thing, you are giving more importance to the compact in size. The size of transistor is very, very small, compact in size. And second one is about lightweight. The second one is about the lightweight. And third one is about it will work for the low voltages and low current. It work for the low voltages and low currents. And finally, you are having the more efficiency. Why you are using transistor? It is having the more efficiency, and also it is having, you can use in the long time. It is having the long life. No aging effect. These are the advantage of your transistor. Why you are giving more importance to the transistor as compared to the vacuum tubes. And especially, maybe you know already who invented the transistor and which year they invented it. And actually in the 1947 they invented the transistors. Actually they have given some book about 1948. Some book they are given about 1947. We'll consider the 1947 because it is so important year for the Indians. In the same way, it is so important year for the electronics. In 1947, we got the independent. In the same 1947, in electronics, they invented the transistor. They invented the transistor. They invented the transistor. And maybe three scientists, their name William Shockley, John Barden and Brattain. They also got Nobel Prize. Maybe in 1956 they got the Nobel Prize. By inventing the transistor, they have got the Nobel Prize. And this is about the who invented the transistor and which year they invented, and also they have got the Nobel Prize in 1957 and 1956. And then you go for the what is the meaning of transistor? What is the meaning of transistor? And before going for the meaning, the important thing about in general, why you are giving importance to the transistors. This I said about technical, but in general, why you are giving more importance to the transistors. Look here, the one thing important that is not possible in general, that is possible only in electronics. That is so surprising thing. What is the surprising thing? Thing is that if you give the very small thing as an input, but you will get the very more output. Or if you give very small things, but they will give the very more things. That is something about your amplifiers. Because in amplifiers, we are applying very low signal as an input, but you will get the very high output signal. Or we can increase the strength of signal. We can increase the amplitude of signal. That is nothing but your amplifier. And the most important thing is about transistor used as amplifier. It means in your transistor, in general, if you are giving very small things as an input, you get the more things in the output. For example, you consider your in general, if you are depositing some amount in your bank, it may be your 100 rupees, or it can maybe the 1000 rupees. If you are depositing in the bank won't give you the 10,000 rupees. They won't give you the 10,000 rupees. But this is possible in electronics. This is possible in electronics. And another important thing, as I said, another important application of your transistor, that is nothing but your oscillators. In oscillator, in general meaning of oscillator, in oscillator we are not applying anything, but it will do something. We are not applying anything, it will do something. That is nothing but in oscillator you are not applying any input, but still you will get the output. In oscillator you are not giving any input, but still you will get the output. That is nothing but your oscillator. In general you are not giving anything, but it will give you something. That is nothing but your oscillators. And after that we go for the meaning of transistor. We go for the meaning of transistor. We go for the meaning of transistor. Actually, what is the meaning of transistor? Every word having their own meaning. In the same way, what is the meaning of your transistor? And if you want the meaning of transistor, what you have to do? Very simple, you split the word. You split the word. And if you split the word, what it becomes? It becomes trans and stir. It becomes trans and stir. And trans nothing but transfer up. Stir nothing but resistance. It means, what is the meaning of transistor? It means trans nothing but transfer, stir nothing but resistance. In your transistor, what is the main function or meaning of transistor? Nothing but in transistor you are transferring the signal from low resistance to the high resistance, or you are transferring the current or voltage from the low resistance to high resistance. That is the meaning of your transistor. It means in your transistor you are transferring the signal from low resistance to the high resistance. And why only you have to transfer signal from high to low resistance? Because in the beginning I said, what is a transistor? It is a two junction, three layered semiconductor device. It means you are having the two junctions in the transistor, and one junction is about forward bias and another junction is about the reverse bias. It means you are having the two junctions, one junction is forward bias, another junction is reverse bias. And the thing is that if the transistor wants to conduct, or if the transistor want to work, we have to satisfy one condition. We have to satisfy the one condition. If that condition not satisfied, your transistor is not used as amplifier. It is not used. It should not conduct. What that condition is nothing but the input should be forward bias. It means forward bias, and output should be reverse bias. And as we know, you have studied diodes. In forward bias, you are having the low resistance. You are having the low resistance. You are having the low resistance, and in the reverse bias, you are having the high resistance. It means, as I said, the meaning of your transistor. In transistor, we can transfer the signal from low resistance to high resistance, because as I said, your transistor having the two junctions, one junction having the forward bias, another junction the reverse bias, and as we know, in forward bias we are in low resistance, and in reverse bias having the high resistance. It means in transistor we can transfer the signal from low resistance to the high resistance. This is about the meaning of your transistor. And before that, I said the most important applications of your transistor, it is used as the amplifier. It is used as an amplifier. And what property of transistor to make it? It is used as an amplifier. What property of transistor? It is used as an amplifier. As I said, not only, and here you can, I'll give small one example. Then you can understand very easily about the use of the transistor amplifier. It is used as amplifier. What is that example? Consider this is your one small circuit you consider, and this is your input section. This is your Ri, and you are having the current I. In the same way, you consider the output section, and here you are having the capital. This will make it small I. That is nothing but your input resistance. This is your output resistance, and this is nothing but your output section. And here also you are having the I. And actually, what I said, the transistor nothing but transfer the signal from low resistance to high resistance. And you can find out, or you can go further, what property of transistor is used as the amplifier. And for that, you will take the use of your Ohm's law. First you find the input voltage. Find the input voltage. What is input voltage? And for that, use your Ohm's law. What is the formula for voltage? V is equal to IR. And here I is nothing but, consider 1 milliamperes. Here current is about 1 amperes, and input resistance Ri is nothing but you can consider 10 ohms, and you consider R0 output resistance, that is nothing but here you take 1 kilo ohms, because as we know already, in ideally the forward resistance is 0, and also the reverse resistance is infinite. But nothing is ideal. It is not possible to construct a zero resistance or also infinite resistance. That's why you can consider. I'm also taken an example. You have taken Ri 10 ohms, and you can take an R0 1 kilo ohms, and current is common for input as well output, that is 1 amperes. And use the values for here this formula. I nothing but 1 amperes, and R nothing but 10 ohms. Nearly you get V is equal to 10 volts. In the same way, you go for the output section. You go for the output section. in output voltage, what the output voltage, same the formula, V is equal to IR, and here also you are using same I, that is 1 amperes, you are using 1 ampere, and you are using R, nothing but 1 kilo ohms. And now you find out, you make it the simplified, you get the nearly 1000 volts. It means, by this example, what you can understand? By this example, you are in the transistor, you are applying input 10 volts, but you are getting the output is nothing but nearly about 1000 volts. That's why it is used as amplifier, and it is a property of the transistor. It is a property of the transistor. Because of this property, it is used as amplifier. You follow what I am saying? Because of this property of the transistor, it is used as a amplifier. It means in the transistor you are applying in very small input, but you will get the very more output. Example, you are applying only 10 volts as an input, but you get the output is 1000 volts. As I said in the beginning, it is not possible in general. It is only possible in your electronics. That is nothing but the meaning and also the most important property of your transistor. And now we go for in broad, we can classify the two types of transistors. One is called your UJT, and another one is called your BJT. Another is called your BJT. UJT and BJT. In broad, we can classify the two types of transistors, UJT and BJT. And we go for what is the importance, difference between the UJT and BJT, or what are the importance of UJT and BJT. The UJT means it is called unipolar junction transistor. It is called unipolar junction transistors, and it is called your bipolar junction transistor. It is called bipolar junction transistor. And what is the meaning of unipolar and what is the meaning of bipolar? Here in your UJT, the meaning of unipolar means the current conducting place only because of the majority carriers. In your UJT, the unipolar junction transistor, the current is because of only the majority carriers. It may be the holes or it may be the electrons. Only one, not both. Especially your example for your UJT, you consider your FET. The example for your UJT, consider your FET. In FET, you have done once again the N channel and P channel. As I said, in your FET, because it is the unipolar, here the current is because of electrons, because it is the N channel FET and P channel FET. In your P channel FET, the current is because of the holes. But what about BJT? In BJT, the current is because of both electrons as well as holes. Not only because of electrons or holes. It means in your BJT, current is because of both, that I said, majority carriers as well as minority carriers. That's why it is called a bipolar junction transistor. Why it is called bipolar? Because here current is because of holes as well as current is because of the electrons. This is the major difference about your UJT and BJT. And once again in your BJT, you have done the two types of BJT. How you have done FET, the two types. One is called your P channel and N channel. In the same way, you go for the BJT, that is types of BJT. Types of BJT. And in your BJT, you have two types. One is called your NPN transistor and another one is called the PNP transistor. And in your transistors, it may be NPN transistor or it may be PNP transistor. And here in your NPN transistor, as I said, it is having the 3-layered 2-junction transistor. 2-junction transistor. It is an what is transistor? It is an 3-layer 2-junction semiconductor device. And before going for the types of NPN and PN transistor, you go for the what are the importance terminals, or I said about what are the important layers of your transistor. As we know already, in your transistor it is a 3-terminal. It is a 3-terminal semiconductor device. It is a 3-terminal semiconductor device, or it is a 3-layered semiconductor device. And as we know here, this is your symbol of your transistor. In the symbol, this is nothing but your base, and this is nothing but your collector, and this is nothing but your emitter. And I will give small one hint and one example how to remember the terminals of your transistor. And also I will give one example. What is the main function of emitter, what is the main function of base, and what is the main function of the collector. And before that, how to remember the emitter, base, and collector. For that, I will give one small sentence. You consider the electronics students or base for the college. Very simple to remember this. And here you can remember this first letter of your electronics and the first letter of your base and first letter of your collector. As you are studying your first year in electronics, also you are studying in your physics how to remember the color coding of your resistance, or how to find out the value of per resistance. That is, we know about B.B. Roy of Great Britain, having the very good wife wearing gold silver necklace. To find out the resistance value, color coding, we have to remember this B.B. Roy. It is one hint, how to easily can find the value of resistance. That is nothing but B.B. Roy of Great Britain, having the very good wife wearing gold silver necklace. In the same way, how to remember the emitter, base, and collector. What I said, the electronics students are base or best for the college. E nothing but emitter, and as you know, base are best, nothing but this B nothing but base, and finally college nothing but collector. In the same way, I will give another example. And before that, you go in brief about what are the main function emitter, what are the main function of base, and what are the main function of the collector. Especially the emitter, it is heavily doped. It emits the charge carriers, or it will produce the charge carriers. The emitter is heavily doped and it will emit or it will produce the charge carriers. In the same way, the base, it is lightly doped. It is lightly doped. What are the main function of the base? It controls the flow of current. It controls the flow of current, or it connects the emitter and collector. It connects the emitter and collector. And what is the main function of collector? As its name indicates, it collects the charge carriers, and it is moderately doped. It is moderately doped. It means the emitter, it is heavily doped, the base is lightly doped, and the collector is moderately doped. And this I'll give small example how to remember the function or use of your emitter, base, and collector. For that, you will consider the management. management, that is nothing but your emitter, and lecturer, that is nothing but a base, and students, that is nothing but your collector. It means as we know already, to run any college, school, the three things are important. What are the three things? One is we want good management, we want good lecturers, and also we want the students. As we know, so many colleges closed because of no lecturers, no good type of lecturers. Or another way, so many colleges, schools are closed because of no students, and also you are not having a good management. It means to run any college or school, the three things are important. One is management, another is lecturer, and finally students. How we can connect, how we can compare the management and emitter and lecturer and base and students and collector. As I said, what are the main function of emitter? To emit the charge carriers, to produce the charge carriers, and also right here it is heavily doped. It is heavily doped. It means, as we know, what is the main function of management? Management will produce the students, or management only takes the admissions. Especially I said in the earlier classes, students are nothing but the electrons. The students are nothing but electrons. Why we call students are nothing but electrons? As electrons are very active, also they are not sitting in the same place. In the same way, the students are also active, and also they are not sitting in the same place. That's why we consider students are nothing but electrons. It means the management will produce the charge carriers in the same way, or it will emits, it will produce the charge carriers. In the same way, the emitter it emits or produces charge carriers. One comparison. Another comparison, management having the more power, as our emitter having the heavily doped data. One thing, the comparison, emitter emits or produces charge carriers. In the same way, the management will produce or it will give us the students. And emitter is heavily doped. In the same way, the management is also having the very more power. And what about the base and lecturer? Actually here, the base will connect emitter and collector. In the same way, the lecturer will connect the management and students. Actually, the students are not having any relation with the management. The students are in relation with the lecturers. If the students want to meet the management, they are not directly meet the management directly. They take the help of the lecturer, then they want to meet the management. It means here the base connects the emitter and collector. In the same way, the lecturer will connect the management and students. And as I said, for your transistor, the base is base for the transistor. In the same way, for a college or school, the lecturers are base for the college. Why the lecturers are base for the college? Because your output, your result, that depends upon the ability of the lecturer. Your overall, we want more result, but if you want more result, that result depends upon the ability or quality of the lecturer. In the same way here, the base is the base for the transistor. Why it is base for the transistor? Because as I said, as in our college, lecturer having the very less power, in the same way our base is lightly doped. It is lightly doped, but it is important. Here also it is having very less power, but it is so important. And here in our base, we want more current. That more current depends upon the base. If you want more output voltage, if you want more output, that depends upon the base. Here also, if you want more result, that result depends upon the lecturer. Here, if you want more voltage or current, that depends upon the base. And finally, as we know, the students. What is the meaning of collector? I just said collector is nothing but collect the charge carriers. The collector nothing but collect the charge carriers. In the same way, the students in the college, they will gain the knowledge. They will collect the information, or they will collect the information or gain the knowledge whatever given by the lecturer. Here, the collector collect the charge carriers given by the base. In the same way, the students will be collect the knowledge, information given by the lecturer. And also, last comparison, the collector is modulated in size. Sorry, modulated doped, but size of the collector is big in size. In the same way, the students, strength of students vary more as compared to the management as well as compared to the lecturers. The students having the more strength. In the same way, the size of the collector is also very more. This is nothing but how to understand them and how to know about the meaning and function of emitter, base and collector. I give you an example to management, lecturer and students, and you can compare emitter with the management, base with the lecturer and collector with the students. This is about the important terminals of your transistor. And now we'll go for the types of transistors. That is nothing but as I said, NPN and PNP. Here, how to construct the construction of NPN transistor and PNP transistor? Very simple. You consider a N-type semiconductor sandwich between the two P-type semiconductors. Sandwich between the two P-type semiconductor. That is nothing but your emitter, base and collector. What is the construction of PNP transistor? A N-type semiconductor sandwich between the two P-type semiconductor. The N-type semiconductor sandwich between the two P-type semiconductor. That is nothing but your PNP transistor. In the same way, you go for the P-type semiconductor sandwich between the two N-type semiconductor. That is nothing but your NPN transistor. That is nothing but your NPN transistor. Here also same emitter, base and collector. Emitter, base and collector. And for your syllabus, and also we are giving more importance to the NPN transistor as compared to the PNP transistor. And you may ask the question, why you are giving more importance to the NPN transistor rather than PNP transistors? Because as I said, the important thing is about NPN transistor. One thing important in NPN transistor, the majority carries electrons. In NPN transistor, the majority carriers are electrons, and in your PNP transistor, the majority carriers are holes. One difference. And second importance and difference is about in your NPN transistor, the mobility of the electrons will be more than mobility of holes. That's why I prefer the NPN transistor. One thing important here in PNP transistor, the majority carriers are holes. In NPN transistor, majority carriers are electrons. And second point, in NPN transistor, the mobility of the electrons will be more than the mobility of holes. What it means? Here, the electrons are moving very fast as compared to the hole. In general, the electrons are moving very fast as compared to the holes. That is nothing but the second point. And third point, to fabricate an IC, it is very simple to fabricate NPN transistor rather than the PNP transistor. Okay, right? I said about three importance of NPN transistor. One is about majority carries electrons. Second one is about mobility of electrons more than mobility of holes. And third one is about the you can easily fabricate the NPN transistor in IC compared to the PNP transistor. And this is the symbol of your NPN and PNP transistor. And here, as we know about symbol of transistor, that is nothing but this is nothing but your base, this is nothing but emitter, and this is nothing but collector, this is nothing but your NPN, and this is nothing but your PNP. Here also base, collector and emitter. Actually in your what is the major difference about for the symbol, how to identify the NPN PNP transistor? In NPN transistor, the as you know, this is your N, P and N. This is your P, N, P. It means in your NPN transistor, the current move from the base to the emitter. The current move from the base to the emitter, or the arrow is towards the emitter. For your PNP transistor, the current move from the emitter to the base, and also the in your PNP transistor, the arrow means the current move towards, arrow is towards the base. Here arrow is towards the emitter, here the arrow is towards the base. This is about the difference about NPN and PNP transistors. And we'll go for finally the most important about the working principle of your transistor. That is important. This is so important 5-mark question. What is the working principle? How your transistor conducts, or how it will activate? And as we know already, you are having the, you can consider the NPN transistor, and here NPN transistor, and this is your emitter, and this is your base, and this is your collector. And as I said in the beginning, when your transistor conducts, means the one condition is that condition is about to make it the emitter base section forward bias, to make it the emitter base forward bias. And as we know, forward bias means you connect the same polarity. Here you are having the electrons having the negative charge, you can connect the negative here, and you can connect the P to the positive, and here this is nothing but here also you can make it the output a reverse bias. For that you can connect the reverse bias to connect the opposite polarity here, and this is makes the VCC, and this makes the VEE. And look here, as I said already, how it works. The first condition is about the emitter base section should be forward bias, and collector base should be reverse bias. If this condition not satisfied, your transistor not works. It is not conducting. And to make it forward bias, you are applying the VE, and to make it reverse bias, you are applying the VCC. And I say very simple way of working of your transistor. As we know, you are having the in your transistor, you are having the 3 currents. One is called IE, emitter current, another is called IB, the base current, another one is the IC, the collector current. Especially as we know already, the current nothing but moving of charges or moving of the electrons or holes. And here you are because of this you are applying the forward bias. As we know, because of forward bias, in your N-type semiconductor, the electrons are majority carriers and holes are minority carriers. And here in P-type semiconductor, the holes are majority carriers and the electrons are minority carriers. And in your N-type semiconductor, the electrons are majority carriers and holes are the minority carriers. And because you are applying the forward bias to the emitter base section, because the forward bias what happens, whatever the electrons are there in the N-type semiconductor, and as I said, here having the having 2 junctions, we are having 2 depression layers, and because of the forward bias, as you studied in diodes, because of forward bias what happens, the depression layer reduces, and because of the reverse bias, the depression layer increases. And because of the forward bias what happens, because of the forward bias, the depression reduces and the electrons they move from the emitter to the base. what is called IE, the moving of electrons from emitter to the base. Why they are moving? Because here the electrons will be themselves, they will be repelled each other, they move towards the base. Because all here electrons are there, they move towards the base because of this forward bias. As you know already, in forward bias the current is because of the magnetic carriers. In forward bias the current is because of the magnetic carriers. It means in n-type semiconductor you are having the electrons magnetic carriers, and because of magnetic carriers they move towards the base. And also as we know already, always the charges are moving from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. They are moving from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. It means the electrons are moving from the emitter to the base, and that current is nothing but the IE. That is nothing but the emitter current. And actually, I just said in the beginning, your base is lightly doped. The base is lightly doped. Whatever the electrons they come towards the base, what happens? Only the 2 to 5%. Only the 2 to 5%. They will be recombining in the hole. Only the 2 to 5% of electrons they will recombine with the hole, and remaining they come towards the collector. And what is called the base current? Base current nothing but the electron and hole recombine, and whenever the electron hole recombine, will get some current. That current is nothing but the IB. That is nothing but base current. Whenever the electron hole recombine, they will give some current. That current is nothing but the base current. And remaining electrons they come towards the collector. You may ask the question, sir, here you are having the reverse bias. Why the electrons are moving towards the reverse bias? Because as we know, in reverse bias the current is because of the magnetic carriers. In the reverse bias the current is because of magnetic carriers. And here in the p-type semiconductor the electrons are the magnetic carriers. That's why. And also as you know, this reverse bias acts for the forward bias for the magnetic carriers. This reverse bias acts for the forward bias for magnetic carriers. It means the magnetic carriers are easily moving from the base to the collector. That is current is nothing but the collector current. The electrons are moving from the base to collector. That current is nothing but the collector current. And also as you are applying the positive voltage here, this electron will be attracted by the positive battery. It means in the overall we want the equation of current, that is nothing but IE equal to IB plus IC. And as I said, you have done, you may ask the question, why the base is lightly doped? Why the base is lightly doped? Because whenever you want the more output, and if you have done the base is normal doped, what happens? You are having the more number of electron hole recombine, and you are not getting the more output. If you want more output, make it the base lightly doped. It means you want very less number of electron hole recombine, and will get the very small base current, will get the more output current. Or I can say the input is nothing but IB and output is nothing but the IC. It means you want always the more output. We want the always more. This is your input and this is your output. We want always the more output, and when you get more output, to make it the base lightly doped, then only you get the more output. This is about the in brief about the working principle of your n-type transistor. If you have any doubts, you can continue in the tomorrow class. Thank you. Correct, Mantraba. Money problem.